Bienvenidos a Cartagena des Indias, Colombia. We're going to move forward this week on a lot of the important work that ICANN does. We're going to find as we go things that we never imagined.
Whatever our differences or issues on policies, we are united behind one common goal: a secure, stable, and unified global internet. It must keep running.
And so although a lot of the work that we do is essentially technical, much of it legalistic, and some of it philosophical, we're all part of something much bigger. This enormous experiment, this enormous project to bring the knowledge of the world to everybody in the world.
I'd like to welcome the board to our traditional meeting with the GAC.
I would like to start by saying that I'm actually here in Cartagena. I was in Brussels, I was in Nairobi, and I was also in Seoul because of the fact, on behalf of the Swedish government, that we support the ICANN model. I mean, we like you, and we like to support you, and, well, that's actually why we're here.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that.
Okay. So, but having said that, so here it comes.
We're still not confident that the benefits to be derived from this are going to outweigh the costs. We've worked hard, we've gone through the detail, we've consulted stakeholders, we've listened to what people in the community are saying, and we think you're not there. You've been doing a lot of valuable work. You're putting a lot of effort into it in a very open way, but you're not there.
I wonder, is there any guidelines from those countries who say we're not there yet as to when we will know, or when you will know we are there?
I think we will know whether we're there or getting very near there when we understand that those benefits do outweigh the costs.
We are held accountable to our governments and to our citizens. So we are actually held accountable, each and every one of us, and there is an expectation that's quite legitimate that there will be some return on this investment.
The question is, how is it shaped? And this leads not to the global benefit of opening up versus not opening up. It goes to whether there is undue burden to certain categories of actors, because the cost-benefit ratio is not only on the global scale, it's also for different categories.
It is generally extremely difficult to estimate the value of innovation. That's just a general economic research issue, because it's very difficult to predict the unpredictable future as opposed to the forecastable conventional future that you know from history.
And I just wonder whether, Heather, if we scheduled a day or a day and a half or 2 days at some stage between now and San Francisco, that might work. It certainly worked very well for the board coming to grips with these issues.
Thank you for that suggestion. I see a little bit of nodding. So I think that means that we are open to doing that, and we appreciate the offer to continue in that spirit.
I'd like to thank you for joining our news conference on IPv6. It's an incredibly important issue. I know that many of you have not covered this issue before. If you haven't, you will in the very near future.
If you think about the IP addresses, like telephone numbers, basically what you're saying is IPv4 is going to run out of numbers, so you can't have any more phone numbers. And that's what it's doing for computers and the systems that connect them for the internet.
This is something that needs to be deployed now, urgently. You really need to do something if you are an ISP. If you are not an ISP but an end customer, an end user, somebody running a web shop on the internet, you need to be on IPv6, because at some point you will be losing parts of the internet if you are not. And about a year from now we will say, we are sorry, we don't have any for you anymore.
So it is expensive, but then the costs of not doing it are more expensive, in my opinion.
This is one of the most exciting times of the week at ICANN. This is when the board assembles and gets ready to listen to the community, and this is for you. This is public comment to make your positions known.
All the nonsense that we've been giving you in terms of trademark and abuse rights protection over the last few years is to do with one thing and one thing only. That's protecting the reputation of those who are currently doing business. All we're trying to do is to secure a set of new TLDs that allows benefits to come out for the guys who want that without imposing costs on a different set.
What I don't like, to put it mildly, is the same individuals taking every opportunity at every microphone to spew out the same scaremongery based on no foundation and which has been discounted over and over again for many years. I have heard nothing new for so long.
I think that comment came because I'm hearing people object to hearing from others, and it's important we continue to hear.
ICANN is not in the content business and should not be in the content and morality business. If its process was followed, the application should be approved.
There are technical issues, there are political issues. And I want to say that from the point of view of the developing countries and countries that are not interested in doing this one, in exposing our children, there will be a problem of people raising up our flag to the highest level to say, look, if ICANN is going this way, then we should take over the management of the domain name.
Thank you very much, and welcome to the board meeting here in Cartagena. There's a real sense of momentum about many of the issues that are in front of us. Item 3 on the agenda, new GTLDs, in terms of resolving the remaining issues.
Resolved that the board, 1, appreciates the GAC's acceptance of the board's invitation for an intersessional meeting to address the GAC's outstanding concerns with the new GTLD process.
The intention has been, as much as possible, to indicate those areas where the board feels that the work that has been done is sufficient to move to closure and a decision as to whether or not that issue is finished. What we've also tried to do is indicate which areas are clearly still open for consideration, and then we've referred to the fact that we have to keep the issues open in relation to the GAC discussion. So I'll put this resolution as moved by Rita, seconded by Ray. All those in favour, please raise your hands. I think that's a vote in favour as well. We come then to another resolution which has occupied the board considerably over the last few months, and of course it's a matter going back a number of years, and that's the ICM registry application for a sponsored top-level domain.
Resolved. ICANN board hereby determines that it intends to enter into a registry agreement with ICM registry for the .XXX sponsored TLD, subject to GAC consultation and advice.
Again, I think the intention is fairly clear. The board would like to trigger the bylaw process, but knows that it needs to have a consultation with the GAC, so this seems to be the appropriate mechanism for achieving all those things. All right, I'll put that resolution then. All those in favour, please raise your hands. I declare the resolution carried.
I just want to commend everyone in the community, as well as the board and the staff, for the exceptional efforts to make progress on very important issues for the unified root of the Internet that ICANN and the community are the steward of.
Are there any other items of business? If not, I declare the Cartagena board meeting closed. Thank you all very much, and thank you again.